Welcome back to yet another episode of Spill It With Meesh. I am your host, your cousin girly Pat, MeeshWesCo, and thank you so much for being here today. Y'all read it in the title. We are back with season 2, and we are talking about boundaries, okay? We are gonna get into it. We not letting nobody fucking play with us, okay, cousin? So I'm gonna save you from crashing out. We not finna follow trends on TikTok. We not crashing out. That shit's not cute. Like, it's not fucking cute. We not crashing out. We're too grown to be crashing out. So before you run into any altercations or before you can really hit a crash out, cousin got you. Don't worry about nothing. So have a seat, turn me up, get comfortable, and get into it with me. I've said it a few times and I'm gonna keep saying it. All year long, y'all gonna hear me say this. This is a year of intentions. Again, we're not letting nobody play in our fucking face. And I mean just that. Don't let nobody play in your face. But before we get started, y'all know we got a little jank poo. So let's get into it. So the drink of the episode is a Taylor Port Citrus Sunrise. We've got Taylor Port wine, orange juice. We've got some lemon juice and some grenadine for some color. So let's prepare our drink. Make sure you pause this and go visit my highlights on Instagram or visit my page. This is the Taylor Port Citrus Sunrise, again, for the drink. So make sure you can make that with me. So we are going to grab our glass. We're going to grab our shaker. I don't really know that I need the shaker because this drink is a little more carefully made, like boundaries. Y'all see what I did there? Yeah. So I'll start off with just chilling my wine and my juice. Well, I'm going to chill my juice, not my wine. So this is my Taylor Port. The recipe calls for 2 ounces, but I say pour until your ancestors say stop. So we pour in our Taylor Port. Okay. And then we have our orange juice. I'm going to chill mine and throw it over a little bit of ice. Make sure if you are going to chill it or use a shaker that your shaker is all the way closed, or you will be spilling it with Meesh, literally. So I shake until, again, I wait for my ancestors to tell me everything, so that means I just get a little inclination of when I should stop. So I guess they said stop. And we are gonna pour. So I'm gonna tip my glass to see if that gives a cute effect. If not, y'all know what I was trying to do anyway. So yeah. Oh, it's cute. It's coming out cute. Okay. Okay. Pour yourself all that. You deserve it. So we've got our lemon juice, right? And we've got oranges for garnish and grenadine, but I'm gonna add my grenadine in. So essentially it's supposed to kind of mimic a tequila sunrise, but like, I don't really know. I may have poured it wrong, but you know what I'm saying? We're regular cousins. We're not mixologists. I never said that. So we're going to put one on the side for garnish. And then I got to add a couple in because y'all know me. I love cute. It kind of gives something, right? I don't know about sunset, but it gives sun somebody. Okay? So let me take a sip. Ooh. She's good. Cheers, cousins. So let's get into it. Here's the thing about boundaries. If you don't set them early, you're setting yourself up for disrespect, confusion, and hurt feelings. And who wants that? I know it sounds harsh, but like sometimes you've got to save yourself before it even gets that deep, right? Establish those boundaries so nobody's taking advantage of your kindness, okay? Think about how many times you've ever let somebody slide and they just get to slipping and sliding. And now at this point, they're trying to build a snowman. Don't let nobody play with you. Again, you're going to hear me keep saying, don't let nobody play with you. I want you to, every time somebody's starting to play with you, I want you to hear my voice. Don't let nobody do that. Stop. But how many times have you said like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, or oh, they probably didn't mean it like that, or oh, this is my mom, so she's nothing. They're nothing. Stop letting people play with you. That's a boundary. Don't let nobody little boy you, little girl you, child you. We're not that no more. We're not that. Set that early and establish that even for yourself. Because when you snap and now you're the bad guy and you get the worst of it and you get the whooping, now everybody's looking at you like, oh, look at this crash out. No. But nobody ever plays into like what they did to you or what brought you there. But establishing that boundary will let you know that nobody is able to play with you like that. You're not even able to lose yourself in the form of a crash out because you set these boundaries. So that's what we're after, okay? Ooh. Whoops. So I say this with love, and I'm going to keep saying this. You heard me? I'm going to keep saying it. Don't let anybody, like anybody, play with you. Not your job, not your partner, not your kids, not your mom, nobody. Respect don't mean get played with. Respect don't mean disrespect. Child, non-child, it doesn't matter. Don't let nobody disrespect you. Establish your boundaries the moment you feel like somebody got you fucked up, okay? If you set that tone very early on, they'll know you not that. So, story time. Back when I was a young warthog. Don't unfollow me. But anyway, so when I was living my party life during COVID and like after COVID, I used to fly back and forth to California. Like outside was an understatement. Jet life was all I knew. I would be back and forth to Cali and Vegas within like the same week, few days apart. Like it would be like I would be here for a day. I would wake up and fly back to the next city, like just hopping and bopping. Okay. I also had a cousin that was doing the same thing, so it made it easier to kind of fall into these behaviors, right? So we're having fun and we're going out and we're living our lives. But this one particular moment, I woke up and it was literally like a night after, like we had a fire night out. Like I'm talking about we partied till we couldn't party, okay? Like I woke up and I was like disgusted at myself. And it was like I was supposed to have gone back for a job and I did not go back to Vegas for this job. So then I missed it and now I'm still kicking myself in the ass for that to this day. So I just really started to understand, like in that moment of waking up and realizing like this party life, this life that I was living wasn't even me. I'm missing jobs. It's like, where's the boundary, right? Where's the boundary you even set for yourself? So at this point, the fun is over. Like, love my cousin to death, but baby, I gotta go because I don't even know who I'm turning into. I'm becoming a little follower, and I'm not that. Having boundaries for myself led me into actually being stranded there. So I got stranded on top of I'm uncomfortable. I had to call my parents. My grown ass had to call my mama and my daddy to get me back home. Like, what am I going through in life that has allowed me to remove boundaries, and now I need my parents to come save me? Mind you, I'm grown. I wasn't put in any harm's way, but the reality of the fact that I allowed myself to get into a situation where I even needed my parents to come and rescue me was where that boundary really started to stick again. Like, I knew who I was, I just had lost sight of that. So like I said, I was just really too grown to be going through kiddie shit. So I started to feel shameful. I started to feel embarrassed almost. Like I just was too grown for shit like this. I didn't even recognize who I was turning into, and that's what made me the most uncomfortable. Now, when I say that ride back to Vegas, all I could do was sit, think, reflect on how I would never put myself in that situation again. I vowed that I would never go to a single place without my own transportation, rather it's Uber, rather it's my own car, rather it's me literally just knowing how I'm exiting this situation. I don't play that. I would never be hanging out recklessly like I don't have a life to live. I would never be doing that again. I was mad because I knew that all of those actions had caused my disappointment, but the disappointment ultimately came in knowing better, having these boundaries for myself initially, and then me just backsliding. And for myself, like just establishing them within myself. Like I had no reason to miss no job. Like I said, my life did not permit partying. Like I wasn't rolling in millions. Like my life did not say stop here and now you just about to do content. Like that wasn't what I even set up for myself. So how could I be living in that? I had to tell myself, like, did you forget you was Meesh, the big MeeshWesCo, not the little one? Like sometimes you have to have conversations with yourself like that to just kind of pull yourself back. That's your way of giving yourself grace, but still being able to pop your shit. Like don't lose sight of who you actually are. And back then I was already on a growth journey. So when I reference backsliding, that was the overall disappointment of it all. That shameful feeling that was coming over me ultimately because I did not place those boundaries. I didn't stand on placing those boundaries for myself and even for others. Because people know who they can and cannot bullshit at the end of the day. I'm going to say that again. People know who they can and they cannot bullshit. So whenever bullshit is being done, you need to always stand in the fact that it cannot be you. Not, oh, it can't be me. No, but stand in the fact that it's never you. Okay? So establish these boundaries. Start with yourself. Don't even allow you to bullshit you. And nobody else will be able to. So, examples. So when I say don't bullshit you, I mean don't keep telling yourself you want to lose weight, but you don't do nothing to lose weight. You're not interested in the gym. You're not interested in a trainer. You're not interested in eating clean. You're not even interested in water. It just sounds good. You got to be real with yourself when establishing boundaries. Like, don't set no far-fetched ass boundary that you're not even going to be able to follow for yourself. Or being so full of shit that you fall off from working out but never get back to it. Like you have one day that you fall out of routine, so you feel like you can't get that back. You feel like you got to start over again next year. You're playing. That's bullshit. But I'm also talking to myself, so not too much, cousin. You know what I'm saying? Not too much. We're going to give ourselves grace, but I'm talking to myself too. So there was that. Or even being in a situation where you're so uncomfortable that you can't speak up. Why are you even in a room where you're not comfortable enough to speak up about your discomfort? Establish those boundaries so you know that's not even a room for you. You see what I'm saying? So, like me, I'm usually always either one of the few or one of the only Black women in my departments, right? So with that being known, I have to establish boundaries so people don't play in my face. So for me, I had a coworker that decided at our Christmas party, he was about to come up to me while I was conducting business with other people. He was going to come up to me and tell me that he told ChatGPT to sound like a Black woman and it sounded like me. Are you fucking... Y'all, in that moment, mind you, I was conducting business, so I had to let him know, hey, we're going to have this conversation at another time, but that's that boundary, right? He even tried in that moment to reconcile, oh, did I offend you? You know damn well you fucking offended me. You know damn well you offended me, and that's why we're not having this conversation right now. But I'm going to address this later. So y'all, that was on a Friday, mind you. I go into work on that Monday morning. I was going to let it go, right? This is me not establishing boundary, right? But no, I needed to put that boundary in place so bad that he brought it up again when I walked in the office. Before 7 a.m., that man wanted me to be on the same shit that I'm on right now. Oh, you're ready to talk about it. So I walk into work, he hey, Meesh, my comment about ChatGPT offended you? I'm like, oh, yes. Since we're here, yeah, actually, let's have this conversation right fucking now. Let's have it right now. Don't ever fucking play in my face. And the fact that you did it among other colleagues, mind you, we have the same skin tone, right? I've told him countless times, like, stop acting like your mama not black. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop. He would make comments about my locks, like, oh, I didn't like your hair like this. I never fucking asked. That's that boundary, though. I never fucking asked you what my hair looked like. So why are you giving me that? Because I didn't establish that boundary. Oh, but that day he brought that shit up, I reestablished that. I said, listen, I don't like any of the things you say to me. I said, you talk to me like you are, like you're not the son of a black woman. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Quit acting like this is not something you're used to. So he went further on to telling me, like, no, my mom's light-skinned. Bro, what? So now we're colorist. I said, okay. So the boundary is now you no longer have the privilege of talking to me. I do not speak to you. I cannot speak to you. You don't understand what I'm going through. So there's no need for me to even spend my time here. That is a boundary. And just setting things like that, just knowing that you're not okay with shit will allow people not to fucking play in your face. But that man had tap danced all over all of the nerves that I could have possibly given him in a workplace. Okay? So again, cousins, don't let nobody play with you. At work, at home, it don't matter. Don't let nobody do it. So, another fave of mine is just referencing like your family. So your family is where those boundaries need to be established first. Like that's the first place you're going to probably start to establish these boundaries. So growing up and your family thinks you're like the baby, or you've got that do as I say and not as I do family, you putting that boundary of in place of you being an adult strikes nerves. It kind of doesn't always make you feel the most confident about setting that boundary, but it's very important that you do. So when you are an adult, or you're stepping into being an adult, not just turning 18. Everybody turns 18 and be like, oh, I'm grown. Everybody turn 21 and feel like I'm grown. No, but I mean, when your family is no longer taking care of you, are you grown? When you're making your own money and you can't, but you're not calling them to help you with shit, that's grown. Like when you know that you have nowhere else to turn but just you, that's grown. So that's what I mean when I say grown. So when you're grown and you really fall into being an adult and you start to establish these boundaries for yourself, set them with your family first. Your mom doesn't need to little kid you no more. That doesn't make you disobedient. That doesn't make you disrespectful. It just lets that be known that I am a grown ass fucking individual and you will respect me as your equal, not just your child. Okay? I know y'all mamas and daddies gonna be mad I told y'all that, but cousin, I said what I said. Don't let nobody little kid you. I look at boundaries like I look at being a big sibling, like the older sibling. Like I would never allow nobody to play in my little siblings' faces because I feel like they're God's greatest gift to earth and greatest gift to me. That was the best gift my parents could have ever given me, is my siblings. And I don't allow nobody to play with them. And I allow them to understand very early on in the game when people are playing with them so they don't fall victim to being played with. So just like parents have that understanding with their kids, you're not going to allow nobody to play with you. And so it could be their jobs. It could be even my mom. I don't let my mama play with my siblings. It sends me. So establish that very early on. Establish that same passion you're going to have for your siblings. Establish that passion you're going to have for your kids about yourself. Don't let nobody play with you. Period. And start writing down your boundaries for everybody in your life. Those set of boundaries may look different for different avenues of your life. The same boundaries you have for your coworkers at work, you may not have for your family. Those same boundaries you have for your mother, you may not have for your siblings or your spouse. So start writing them down and establishing what those boundaries are going to look like for you. In a business, I have to set boundaries. I have to tell myself that although my audience is who I'm talking to, y'all don't determine what type of content I make. Yeah, I want you guys to like it, but y'all don't determine what type of content I'm going to make. At the end of the day, this is mine. Cousin loves you and all the shit, but like, this is my platform, right? I'm encouraging you guys to make your own. So if you feel like you want to change my stuff, think about maybe starting your own podcast. Create boundaries so that you allow more time for yourself. Sometimes reestablishing that you need your own self-time or your own time with yourself will allow you to also see how you're going to let other people treat you as well. If I wouldn't do this to myself, what the fuck makes you think that you're going to be able to do it to me? So sometimes setting them is hard, and sometimes you'll backslide like I did in my story. But setting them will always help you remember who you are and what's needed for growth. Do you even like this? Are you even the same person you were last year? Revisit looking at your favorite color sometimes. Like, is that still your favorite color? Sometimes you need to establish those small little boundaries within yourself so that you understand going forward how you're going to allow people to treat you. So thank you guys all so much for sitting for my TED Talk. I appreciate you guys being here all the time. Cousin loves you to death, but I'm going to say it one last time. Don't let nobody fucking play in your face, okay? I said that, and I'm going to keep saying that. Y'all going to hear that. I want you to hear my voice, like I said, when people is playing in your face. I want you to know that Meesh said, don't let nobody fucking play in your face, okay? This was yet another beautiful episode of Spill It With Meesh. Thank you guys so much for being here. Never forget your favorite cousin got you, okay? Have a good night. Love you guys. And let me know how y'all liked our Taylor Port Citrus Sunrise. Good night. Or sunset. Good night.